Can people with diabetes eat fruit? The 10 best and 5 worst fruits for blood sugar control. Fruit, one of nature's most perfect foods. But for people with diabetes or prediabetes, it also causes one of the biggest questions in nutrition. Can I still eat fruit? You've probably heard both sides. Some say fruit is full of sugar and should be avoided. Others say fruit is healthy and essential. So who's right? Today, we're cutting through the confusion. This video is your complete guide to fruit and blood sugar. You'll discover the real impact of fruit on glucose, how to choose fruits that support metabolic health, the 10 best fruits for people with diabetes, 5 fruits you should limit, and how to eat fruit without fear. Let's begin. Why fruit causes so much confusion? If you've ever looked at the nutrition label of a fruit, you've probably noticed something alarming: sugar. Yes, fruit contains sugar, but this sugar is naturally occurring and packaged with water, fiber, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. The sugar in fruit is not the same as the sugar in soda or candy. It's part of a whole food matrix that slows digestion and reduces blood sugar spikes. When you eat an orange, you're also getting vitamin C, fiber, flavonoids, water, and a complex structure that takes time to chew and digest. Compare that to drinking orange juice. With juice, you're getting none of the fiber, just a rush of liquid sugar. The result, a rapid rise in blood sugar. Whole fruit is digested more slowly, especially when paired with fat, fiber, or protein. The key message here is fruit sugar behaves differently than added sugar. And for people with diabetes, that distinction matters. Understanding glycemic index and glycemic load. To choose fruit wisely, it helps to understand 2 concepts: glycemic index and glycemic load. Glycemic index, or GI, tells us how quickly a food raises blood glucose. It's ranked from 0 to 100. Low GI equals slow rise. High GI equals fast rise. But GI doesn't tell the whole story. That's where glycemic load, or GL, comes in. GL takes into account the actual amount of carbohydrates in a serving. This gives you a more accurate picture of how food affects your blood sugar in real life. A food can have a high GI but a low GL if the serving size is small. For example, watermelon has a high GI but a low GL because a typical portion doesn't contain that much sugar. Both GI and GL help us evaluate fruit. And with that foundation, let's explore the top 10 fruits that are best for people managing diabetes or prediabetes. Top 10 fruits for blood sugar balance. These fruits are selected based on their fiber content, glycemic load, and nutrient density. They're also widely available and easy to include in your daily diet. 1. Berries. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries. Berries are loaded with fiber and antioxidants like anthocyanins. They have one of the lowest glycemic loads among fruits. They also improve insulin sensitivity and reduce oxidative stress. Try adding a handful of fresh or frozen berries to your yogurt, oatmeal, or smoothie. 2. Apples. Apples contain both soluble and insoluble fiber, especially in the skin. They're easy to digest, low in calories, and promote satiety. Apples support gut health and are associated with reduced risk of heart disease. Stick to medium-sized apples and eat with the peel on. 3 pears, high in fiber, hydrating, and gentle on digestion. Pears also contain antioxidants like quercetin. Studies show they can reduce inflammation and improve lipid profiles. Slice and enjoy raw or add to salads. 4. Cherries. Low glycemic index, high in potassium and antioxidants. Cherries may help reduce inflammation and support better sleep thanks to natural melatonin. Choose fresh cherries when in season. Limit dried versions due to added sugar. 5. Kiwi. Surprisingly low in sugar and high in vitamin C. Kiwi contains both soluble and insoluble fiber and enzymes that support digestion. Eat it whole, including the skin, for maximum benefit. 6. Avocados. Yes, they're technically a fruit. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fat, fiber, and plant sterols. They support heart health, reduce inflammation, and blunt glucose responses. Add to salads, smoothies, or enjoy with eggs. 7. Guava, high in vitamin A, C, potassium, and fiber. Guava may help regulate blood pressure and improve immune function. It also has a very low glycemic load. Slice raw or drink guava leaf tea, which may also help with blood sugar control. 8. Passion fruit, tiny but powerful. Passion fruit is loaded with fiber, polyphenols, and vitamin C. Early studies suggest it may improve insulin sensitivity and reduce oxidative damage. Scoop out and eat with a spoon, seeds and all. 9. Grapefruit, low in sugar and high in vitamin C. Some studies suggest grapefruit helps improve insulin resistance. Be cautious if you take medications, as grapefruit can interact with certain drugs. Half a grapefruit with breakfast is a great choice. 10. Blackberries, high in fiber, vitamin K, and manganese. Like other berries, they support gut health and fight inflammation. Eat fresh or blend into a low-sugar smoothie. 5 fruits to limit or be careful with. These fruits aren't bad, but they have a higher sugar content, glycemic load, or are often overeaten. If you love them, enjoy in moderation and pair them with healthy fats or protein. 1. Grapes, very easy to overeat. 1 cup of grapes has over 20 grams of sugar and little fiber. Stick to a small handful. 2. Mango, tropical and delicious, but also high in sugar. Half a mango has around 22 grams of sugar. Pair it with yogurt or cottage cheese to reduce impact. 3. Banana, especially ripe bananas have a higher glycemic index. Choose greener bananas for more resistant starch. Eat half a banana instead of the whole fruit if needed. 4. Pineapple, juicy and rich in bromelain, which helps digestion, but also one of the higher sugar fruits. Eat in small portions and avoid canned versions with syrup. 5. Watermelon, has a high glycemic index, but also high water content. The key here is portion size. Stick to 1 cup and pair with a handful of nuts or some cheese. Best practices for eating fruit with diabetes. Let's recap the smart strategies that let you enjoy fruit without spiking blood sugar. Stick to whole fruit. Avoid juice and dried fruit. Whole fruit contains fiber, which slows sugar absorption. Combine fruit with fat or protein. Pair apple slices with peanut butter. Mix berries into Greek yogurt. Eat banana with a few almonds. Limit portions. 1 to 2 servings of fruit per day is usually safe for most people with diabetes. Test your response. If you have a glucose monitor, test your blood sugar before and after eating different fruits. You'll learn what works for your body. Eat fruit as dessert, not on an empty stomach. This reduces the glucose impact compared to eating fruit alone. Choose lower glycemic options. Berries, apples, kiwi, and pears tend to be more forgiving. The big picture: fruit is not the enemy. In fact, people who consume more whole fruit, especially low glycemic fruits, tend to have lower rates of type 2 diabetes, better heart health, healthier body weight, reduced inflammation. The key is to eat mindfully, pair wisely, and avoid processed or sugary fruit products. You don't need to give up fruit. You just need to understand how to use it as part of your plan. Fruit can nourish you, it can energize you, and yes, it can be part of a healthy diet for people managing diabetes. Closing. So what did we learn? Whole fruits are very different from fruit juices. Glycemic load is more important than glycemic index alone. Some fruits support blood sugar balance, while others require more moderation. Smart pairing and portion control are key to enjoying fruit safely. Let go of the fear. Focus on what nourishes your body, not just what raises or lowers a number. Eat with knowledge, eat with purpose, and above all, eat with joy. If this video gave you clarity and confidence about how to manage your health, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. It's a simple way to support our work, and it ensures you won't miss future videos filled with practical science-based guidance on nutrition, blood sugar, and wellness. And if you know someone who could benefit from this information, feel free to share it with them. Together, we can spread knowledge that empowers healthier lives.